All right, so today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the world of PCIe.
PCI.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that tech that's basically like the central nervous system of your computer?
Mm-hmm.
It connects all the parts and make sure they can like talk to each other at warp speed.
Right.
You guys have sent in some fascinating research on the latest generations, PCIe Gen 5 and Gen 6, and honestly, I've been geeking out about it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we're going to break it all down.
Break it down.
What's new, what's changed, and why it matters for everything from gaming to the future of AI.
Yeah, you know what's interesting to me is how PCIe keeps, like, evolving, pushing the limits of data transfer speeds.
Yeah.
It really shows how much the demand we're putting on our technology is increasing all the time.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to unpack today. We're going to explore how these generations differ, not just like raw numbers, but the engineering that makes those speeds possible.
Right.
And we're going to connect the dots, showing you why this seemingly obscure tech actually has huge implications for your everyday life.
Yeah, let's start with a quick refresher.
Yeah.
Think of PCIe, like a highway system inside your computer.
Okay.
Data travels along these lanes, and just like on a real highway, more lanes and higher speed limits mean things can move much faster.
So Gen 5, which came out in 2019, that was all about cranking up that speed limit, right? Like
Yeah.
doubling the lanes and pushing data transfer rates to a mind-boggling 32 gigatransfers per second per lane.
Yeah, you got it.
It's crazy.
But to achieve this speed boost, they actually used a familiar approach,
Oh, really?
NRZ signaling.
Okay.
So it's like switching a light on or off, representing ones and zeros.
Uh-huh.
A simple but effective way to get those speeds up quickly.
So an evolution building on existing tech to get that performance boost.
Exactly.
But then Gen 6 comes along in 2022, and it feels like they completely like ripped out the engine and put in a rocket booster or something.
Yeah.
64 gigatransfers per second per lane. It's hard to even imagine.
It's a big jump. And this time, it's not just about adding more lanes to the highway.
Okay.
They introduced a new signaling technology called PM4.
PM4.
Yeah, okay. Imagine a dimmer switch with multiple levels of brightness
Oh.
instead of just on or off.
Oh, okay.
That's how PM4 works, packing more data into each signal.
Okay, that's clever. More data per signal.
More data per signal.
I imagine pushing things to those extremes, there must be challenges, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, how do you...
So PM4 signals are actually much more sensitive to noise and interference,
Yeah,
which can lead to errors.
right.
That's why Gen 6 has this really robust error correction built in.
Uh-huh.
It's like having a super sophisticated spell checker
Okay.
that keeps everything running smoothly, even at these incredible speeds.
And speaking of efficiency, didn't they also change how data is packaged with Gen 6?
Yes.
I was reading about something called FLIT encoding.
Yes, FLIT encoding.
FLIT.
FLIT encoding is like optimizing the containers that we use to ship data.
Okay.
Gen 5 used 128B, 130B encoding, which added extra bits for framing and error checking.
Mm-hmm.
FLIT gets rid of that overhead and uses fixed-size data packets.
Okay.
So it's more streamlined, more efficient.
So we're talking about like faster lanes, more data per signal,
Mm-hmm.
more efficient packaging.
Yeah.
That's impressive. But I think the real question is, what does this mean for someone sitting at their computer?
Right.
Does all of this technical wizardry actually translate to real-world benefits?
Well,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
I mean, we've been laying out some pretty impressive specs
Yeah.
about Gen 6.
for sure.
But why are we even pushing data transfer speeds to these extremes? What's driving this, like, constant need for more bandwidth?
Yeah, well, I think it boils down to the increasing demands that we're placing on our computers.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just think about all the data-intensive applications that are out there.
Yeah,
AI, machine learning, big data analytics,
right.
even high-resolution video streaming and gaming. All of these require massive amounts of data to be moved and processed incredibly quickly.
Okay, so it's not just about making our games load a few seconds faster.
Right.
Gen 6 is laying the foundation for some seriously powerful technologies
Exactly.
that are changing the world around us.
It's like upgrading the infrastructure of a city
Yeah,
to handle a growing population and evolving transportation needs.
right.
So we're not just making things faster for enabling entirely new possibilities.
That makes sense, but I'm also curious about the challenges, like packing that much data into each signal and pushing it to those speeds.
Right.
It sounds like there must be some serious technical hurdles to overcome.
Yeah, you're hitting on a really crucial point.
Okay.
One of the biggest challenges with Gen 6 is signal integrity.
Yeah.
Those PM4 signals we talked about,
Uh-huh.
they're much more susceptible to noise and interference,
Right.
which can lead to errors.
So it's like walking a tightrope.
Yeah,
You need incredible precision and stability to make it work.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And that's why there's a lot of innovation happening in areas like signal conditioning and error correction.
Okay.
Engineers are developing new materials and techniques,
Uh-huh.
using sophisticated algorithms to ensure data arrives intact, even at these crazy speeds.
So they're pushing the limits of physics here.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
And it's not just about achieving those raw speeds.
Okay.
It's also about efficiency, reliability, and power management.
Mm-hmm.
All that speed is useless if it drains your battery in a few minutes
Right.
or causes your system to overheat.
So it's a balancing act.
It is.
Pushing the limits of speed while also ensuring stability, reliability, and efficiency.
Yeah.
How are they achieving that balance?
Well, one example is the development of low-loss materials for the PCIe connectors and cables.
Okay.
These materials help minimize signal loss, which allows data to travel further without degradation.
So it's like paging a highway with like a super smooth surface that minimizes friction.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then there are the advancements in error correction algorithms.
Okay.
They're becoming increasingly sophisticated,
Uh-huh.
using techniques like forward error correction to identify and correct errors in real time.
Okay.
It's like having a team of expert mechanics constantly monitoring the highway, fixing any potholes or cracks before they can cause problems.
So it's not just about the data itself. It's also about optimizing the physical infrastructure
Exactly.
that carries those signals.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about the challenges and some of the ways engineers are overcoming them.
Mm-hmm.
But what I really want to know is, what does all this mean for the future? What are some of the exciting possibilities that Gen 6 unlocks?
Well, for me, one of the most exciting areas is the potential for Gen 6 to revolutionize artificial intelligence and machine learning.
Okay,
We're talking about training AI models faster, analyzing massive data sets more efficiently,
right.
unlocking new levels of performance and accuracy.
We touched on this earlier, but how might this impact the development of, let's say, self-driving cars?
Oh, that's a great example.
Yeah.
Self-driving cars rely on incredibly complex algorithms that process tons of data from sensors and cameras.
Right.
But with Gen 6, those algorithms can run much faster, allowing them to make decisions in real time with much greater accuracy and precision.
So we're talking about safer, more efficient self-driving cars
Yeah.
that can navigate complex environments more easily.
Exactly, and it goes beyond self-driving cars.
Okay.
Gen 6 has the potential to accelerate advancements in natural language processing, computer vision, robotics, basically any field that relies on processing massive amounts of data
Right.
to make sense of the world.
It feels like we're on the cusp of a technological leap forward.
I think so.
And Gen 6 is playing a crucial role in making that happen.
I agree.
And it's not just AI and machine learning.
Right.
Gen 6 also has the potential to revolutionize high-performance computing,
Yeah.
enabling scientific breakthroughs in fields like medicine, astrophysics, and climate modeling.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you give us some specific examples of how Gen 6 might impact those fields?
Absolutely. In medicine, for example, Gen 6 could accelerate the development of personalized therapies by allowing researchers to analyze huge genomic data sets and identify patterns that could lead to new treatments.
So we're talking about like potentially life-saving breakthroughs
Exactly.
driven by the ability to process data at these unprecedented speeds.
That's right. And in astrophysics, Gen 6 could enable scientists to analyze the massive amounts of data collected by telescopes and space probes, potentially leading to new discoveries about the origins of the universe.
Wow, the implications are mind-boggling.
Yeah, they are.
Like it's hard to even fathom.
Yeah, and it's important to remember that Gen 6 is not the end of the road.
Right.
It's just a stepping stone to even faster, more efficient, and more powerful technologies in the future.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
From the technical intricacies of Gen 6 to its potential to transform industries and shape the future.
Yeah, and it's important to note that these advancements are happening in a landscape that's rapidly evolving.
Right.
The industry is constantly pushing the boundaries, exploring new materials, algorithms, and architectures to enhance PCIe technology.
So it's like a constant race to the next level of performance and efficiency.
Yeah, it is.
It's crazy to think how far we've come, you know, for those early computers to this world of Gen 6 where data is flying around at these insane speeds.
Yeah, it's mind-blowing.
Well, with all this power, it makes you think about the responsibility too, right? Like, are we ready for this?
As we unlock all these incredible capabilities, we have to think about the ethics. You know,
Right.
we're talking about technologies that could reshape entire industries and even societies.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be mindful of that impact and make sure we're using this power for good.
Yeah, because it's easy to get caught up in the excitement of like faster speeds and more powerful tech.
Right.
But we have to pause and ask those bigger questions like, how will this affect people's lives?
Yeah.
Are there any downsides or unintended consequences we need to be thinking about?
Exactly. Those are the questions we can't ignore.
Yeah.
Like, for example, as AI gets more sophisticated,
Mm-hmm.
we need to think about its role in decision-making. How do we make sure things are fair and transparent?
Right.
How do we prevent bias from getting into the algorithms?
It's a tough one for sure.
Yeah, it's complex.
It's complex, and I think having these conversations where we acknowledge both the amazing potential and the potential pitfalls
Yes,
is so important.
I totally agree. We need to approach these advancements with responsibility,
Yeah.
have open discussions about ethics involved,
Mm-hmm.
and work together to create a future where technology benefits everyone.
So it's not just about the engineers and scientists pushing the limits of being possible.
Right.
It's about all of us being a part of these discussions and shaping how these technologies are developed and used.
That's right. We all need to be informed, ask the hard questions,
Yeah.
and hold ourselves and each other accountable to use this tech responsibly.
So we've talked about the speed, the challenges, the applications, the ethical considerations.
Yeah.
But what about the things we haven't even considered yet? What's the world going to look like in 10 or 20 years when data moves even faster and AI is even more powerful?
Right.
What kind of crazy innovations will we see that we can't even fathom today?
I know. That's what makes this so exciting. We're at the edge of a huge unknown world.
It's true.
Gen 6 isn't the finish line. It's just the beginning.
Yeah.
It's a launch pad for a whole new era of innovation.
I love that. It's like a spark that sets off a chain reaction of creativity and discovery.
Exactly.
And it's not just the tech world, right? This could change everything.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Think about healthcare, education, transportation, entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Every field will be transformed by this ability to use and process data in ways we never thought possible.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I think the key takeaway is this isn't just about tech specs and data rates.
Right.
It's about a fundamental change in how we interact with tech and how it shapes the world around us.
I couldn't have put it better myself. This is about the future of humanity, and we're shaping it right now.
So to everyone listening, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah.
The future of technology is in our hands. Thanks for joining us on this amazing journey into the world of PCIe.